As the new disease wreaks havoc all over the world, many countries have gone on compulsory lockdown. People have been forced to lock up their places of business and stay at home to help curb the spread of the virus. This has caused economic meltdown on families and businesses. However, the Senate of the United States of America has refused to sit around and watch its citizens suffer. The United States Senate on Wednesday agreed to release a $2 trillion government relief fund to citizens of their country to help them remain financially afloat while staying at home. The Speaker of the House of Assembly, Nancy Pelosi, is expected to also approve the relief by unanimous consent. Now, let's bring it home. Can the Nigerian Senate do this? This coronavirus pandemic has opened several cans of worms in our country. It has shown how much the political class cares only about themselves and do not care what happens to the citizens. Our lawmakers are the highest paid lawmakers in the world. They earn very much higher than lawmakers in the United States, but they hardly make any decision that do not favor only them. Our lawmakers are very much aware of the state of our healthcare sector, but because they just like the executive, they can always jet off to receive treatment abroad. They ignored our hospitals to rot while they budgeted 37 billion naira for the renovation of their complex. For days, everybody has been shouting, lock down the country, stay at home. But then, my question is, if Nigeria finally locks down in the coming days and everybody forcefully stays at home, can the Nigerian government do this kind of thing that the American government has done? Yes, that's a big question. A lot of questions that, are begging for answers. Some people will come and tell you, oh, why must you compare America and Nigeria? Don't you know? Somebody was saying that, don't you know that America is a structured place? And I said, is it a cause on us that we should not be structured? We've been saying it over and over again, and it is in the public domain. It is what everybody knows. Even the world power, we call America the world power. But our politicians, our politicians, our leaders, they earn more, far more than their politicians there. So what? How do you justify that? Are we caused not to do things rightly? Now it is now time for them to do the needful. Now we've been saying it. Oh, stay at home, sit down at home. Everybody will be talking, but they will not say. We have been talking it on this platform. None of them, Aisha and Tinubu, that have really called or suggested that they will support a lockdown, but they're not saying anything. But at least Atiku came out and still remind them of what to do. Though we've been hearing rumor here and there that it's gonna the federal government has budgeted 100 billion, but we've not confirmed it. 100 billion naira. Each household will be getting 8,500 naira according to their calculation, and it's going to be paid through BVN. They were going to be using BVN, but the question is that for how long? And if you are giving them 8,500 naira, how are they going to pay their house rent? Is that one going to take care of their house rent? So that's why we don't even know the package in the first place, because Atiku has even called on the Senate, the National Assembly, to quickly gather, because if it were to be something that they want to buy cars, they will quickly call off whatever their recession and what have you, or they want to suggest bill to help the Boko people. Oh, they don't waste time. They make such bill. You see individuals. So I've not seen any senator or lawmaker that will suggest, okay, these are the things we are supposed to do. All of them, they've just gone into the thin air. We are not hearing anything from them. Atiku at is coming out to say this. People are saying, oh, Atiku, why should Atiku be giving only donating 50 million naira and what have you? And people are saying, okay, whichever way, which we talked about, what about other people? 50 million naira, we know is nothing. He was even suggesting 10,000 naira. But if there's anything to go by with what we are hearing, that the federal government is going to be making available 100 billion naira, because this stimulus they're talking about in the US is going to take care of their housing and their feeding and what have you. Is going to be taken care of, because accommodation and feeding, are the most important and crucial things to people. So we don't know what they are really coming out with. Stay at home, stay at home, stay at home, stay at home, lockdown, lockdown, this and this and that. But they are not talking and saying anything about those who are private business owner, who are into private businesses. They are not saying that. But we are still waiting. And just like everybody just see, looking at maybe in some days to come, maybe that lockdown will commence. What are they planning? Whether they are planning something, but let us see how far they are going to go, and let us see what they are going to be giving people. And like I said before, that they need to be proactive. They need to project. Okay, if it's going to take 2 years, 2 weeks, okay, what of paraventure, it lasts more than 2 weeks, or 1 month, 2 months. They're supposed to even project for 3 months, that in case of anything, but they will not do that. We always love this fire brigade work. See now, all of them, they are trapped in the country. They can't travel out because they always believe that they can always get away with everything. If there's money, you can do everything. Of course, virtually you can do everything with money, but not everything. So they just believe that, oh, most times you can just go and get away with a lot of things because they believe in the money which they have acquired wrongly. Because I can see it wrongly. Civil servants are there, workers are there. You can't even pay them. What you pay them is nothing to write home about, and you will still owe them for 3 months, 1 year, some 2 years, as the case may be. They will not be telling, some states will not be saying modulated salaries. You can imagine. But when it comes to them, they can't do. They don't do that. Their salary, they always get a lot, pakam, every month. They don't see, it's not negotiable. They always get it. Our lawmakers will tell you, oh, we want to buy 2020 car, the model 2020. That is what they want. They don't even want like a 2 years back or three. They are recent one, and people will just be looking at them. A lot of people are saying we shouldn't just blame people. All that people are talking, most especially Serap and other groups. They have been talking, but they pay the FGS. Who are you reporting to? Is it not the same thing? You want to go to the judiciary? You want to go to where? They are the ones there. They've polluted everywhere, but just that people will continue to talk. They have not been able to talk on how that why what is the irony of a poor country like Nigeria. I was asking question that, are we even a developing country, or underdeveloping country? Because of course, don't go there. We're not talking of developing. When you say developing country, that means they are on the path of trying to be there. They are making everything possible to make sure that they are still on the process. But when you talk of underdeveloped, they just sit down. They are not even ready to move an inch. So where do we belong? Somebody was telling me that we are underdeveloped. I don't know what you think. To me, I just feel that we are underdeveloped. We are not even ready to even say we want to even start, or to make to start make effort to see that we want to be on the path of progressing. So if that kind of a country, you have their leaders are richer than the so-called developed countries, that our people want to go there. And meanwhile, all these our politicians, they always rush down to all those developed countries, Canada, UK, all of those other countries, all these Europe countries, they love to go there. But reverse is the case. Those people, they don't come to our place. We'll be singing. We have to be saying it every now and then. We cannot stop until we get the desired change that we want. That is when we will stop talking about it. Those people don't come to our place, but they go to their places. They go and build their economy, do all manner of things. So if somebody is coming to tell us that, you cannot compare. You cannot compare. So they tell us that what is the moral justification for those developed countries, their leaders are not as rich as our leaders. How do we justify that? And that's the big question that we need to really ask. And we should stop making excuses for these people that are really oppressing us. So this is the time for them to do the right thing. Let us see what will happen at the end of the day. But let's hear what people are saying before we allow beautiful people like you to tell us what you feel. Someone says they are full of idiots and selfishness. They can budget trillions for car, but to approve 1,000 naira for citizens' health, it is so difficult for them. Someone say for where? They will see it as unnecessary and waste of resources. But thank God the virus started with them this time. COVID-19 puts Nigeria senators' love for masses to test. They shut down the chambers without bold step to cushion the hardship meted upon us by lockdown as we fight the deadly pandemic. It's a shame. This is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. I can never forgive Nigerian government speaking as a citizen. And someone says they will do something by voting some money and later share the money to themselves. Greedy wolves. Nigeria Senate are busy carrying the virus and giving it to the public. Some even refuse to go on self-isolation. God will judge them wella. Our lawmakers had forgotten their primary duties. Many of them don't think about Nigerians but themselves and family. I pray for God's mercy on the masses, and I pray we the masses will also learn from our mistake. We are watching. I pray for God intervention on our land, Nigeria. How can Nigeria senators agree to give the money they will share within themselves to the masses? It will never happen in Nigeria. Even if God himself come down and hand over $200 trillion to our leaders to share among their subjects, they will still share it among themselves and leave the masses suffering. Because the masses are always, majority of the masses are making excuses for them. They will say, oh, I beg, leave them. Maybe that's so God want them. Hey, let me ask one question. Did our Senate even know the population of the people they are governing? Neither our president know the total population of Nigerians. The answer is totally no. Yes, they will not, they are not interested. But when it comes to election, oh, they will start giving you figure. They will be quoting figure. Oh, this polling unit got this polling unit got this. They will just be writing figures, Like people always say that even those areas that did not even vote, their numbers will be swelling up like a Gari Jebu. It will be swelling up like Gari Jebu. When you put Gari Jebu inside water, before you know it don't rise. So just put little. So that is how they will be forming figures when election time comes. They don't even know how they do it. That even at the end of the day, everybody will be satisfied. So guys, let us hear your opinion concerning this happening. What do you think? Do you think we just relax and not say anything? We should just accept our fate, or we should continue to make excuses for them? Leave your comments below in the comments.